All right, folks, welcome to 𝗍𝗁𝐺𝗀𝗏. Folks, I got to tell you, I recognize patterns. I don't believe in coincidences. And Mitch McConnell being away, all of a sudden he's disappeared. And now Lindsey Graham, sudden illness. Folks, put it together. 2 and 2, it equals 4. And we've talked about this many times. I've had guests on like 𝗬𝗁𝗵𝗶𝗹, Michael Jaco, Joshua Reed, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And the list goes on and on and on and on. The Ghost, and they all say the same thing. All of them say the same thing. This will start to happen, and it will pick up speed. Now we know we're closing in on them. Now, what does that mean? Well, the IRGC is taking credit for this, I guess you want to say, his death. There's a hit list that they've even put out. I'm going to have John Carmen come on today on Nino'sCorner.tv to talk about it more. But first, I'm going to have Michael Jaco join me today to discuss what the hell is going on and are our suspicions correct. But first, folks, get your noble gold. AI is getting smarter every day. So are the hackers using it. Your bank account, your retirement, your savings, AI, all of it just sitting on a server protected by a password. AI can hack in just seconds. How much of your wealth exists only as a number on the screen? You need something AI can't touch. Noble Gold Investments helps Americans secure physical gold held in your hand or in a tax-advantaged retirement account. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. Noblegoldinvestments.com now. Get over there, folks. Get started. Start building your wealth. This is the smartest thing to do. Things are starting to pick up. And now I'm going to bring Michael Jaco on. Mike, man, thank you for joining me. Last second.
Wow. Yeah. Good job on being on top of this. I was doing research in the other areas. I didn't even know this until like an hour ago. You hit me up. So you want to talk about Lindsey Graham's death? And I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. So I'm like, heck yeah. So I started doing quick research, and this guy is or was a John McCain protege.
Right.
And McCain, as we know, had a wrinkle flag on his coffin. Trump said, "He who must not be named." So we've not no name. That's what he called McCain. And back in the day, those two basically helped engineer the takedown of the democratically elected Ukrainian president. So those two, and just days ago, he was there seeing Zelensky.
Right.
Yep.
Lindsey Graham was in Kiev inspecting drone factories, facilities. And, you think about it and you're like, interesting. Of course, we always known he was a warmonger and what he wanted to accomplish. We know many sides wanted him dead. Trump even said, and I'm going to bring this up because I found this to be very, very interesting. What makes it even, Trump says this himself, what makes it even stranger is that I got a call last night sometime, and Lindsey Graham said, we're all set for the Save America Act. We thought maybe we might even meet today, he said. And then that was it. Strange. So Trump's even saying, hey, this is kind of weird. This is strange. So there's a lot of, to me, inconsistencies here, but we're trying to put it all together for my audience. And I think you and I do a good job of that. You and I have really been the tip of the spear with other podcasters that in this movement. But you always got to be first. We've been talking about this for a long, long time, Mike, that this was going to start happening around this time.
Yeah, it's definitely coming down to a head. We've been on saying that this last 3-4 months going into the midterms is going to be pretty hectic and chaotic, and this is what we're seeing right now. It's crazy, all the stuff that's going to be happening. This is just, like you said, the tip. We are the tip of the spear bringing this information out, but this is just the beginning of the chaos that's going to start to unfold. So yeah, Mitch McConnell. Several days ago, I was like threw down the red flag. I was like, this is bullshit. McConnell, he should be. They should just announce his death because he's gone. He's brain dead. Laura Loomer, brought it up. On good, insights, somebody informed her that he was dead and in the hospital. Just they're keeping him on life support or something so they can, I don't know, use his vote. But what, and heart attack issues because he was, taken in an ambulance just like, Graham. So it's amazing. They're doing the same thing. So who else is going to be on the list? Who's the next Republican they're going to try and take out, and why are they taking out Republicans?
Well, it doesn't matter, right? If they're Democrats or Republicans, they're deep state pawns. That's all they are. They're all part of the same team, the deep state. Here, yesterday, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham visited Ukraine to assure Zelensky support of the United States. To assure Zelensky support of the United States. The warmonger was shown a secret drone manufacturing facility in Kiev. Well, this facility no longer exists after strikes by the Russian MOD. Without warning, 6 missiles struck 2 manufacturing facilities in the Kiev region. The rumored confirmed strikes on drone sites, which started a huge fire. None of Russia's ballistic missiles were shot down. Lindsey Graham is no longer in Ukraine. So is this what got Lindsey? I'm asking the question. It sure does seem coincidental. I mean, I'm just saying he goes. I wouldn't, I think you remember Scott Bennett, who passed away, who's no longer with us. He got very sick from visiting Ukraine. He got poisoned, basically. He got cancer, passed away, right? I wouldn't go. I wouldn't step foot over there with all the war and bombings and chemicals and things like that. I would never go there. So it's brave for anybody even to step foot on that soil. But here it says, Lindsey Graham was there expecting drone sites, and allegedly missiles hit those sites.
Yeah, so the drones are real. The drone warfare that's going back and forth with Russia and Ukraine is pretty intense right now. They're blowing up each other's oil facilities and gas stations and everything. So it's a war of attrition. Who's going to win this war of attrition and the fuel? And I guess Lindsey Graham was going to sponsor a bill. This is something I saw a couple of days ago where he said that they were sponsoring a bill to come in and take down more of Russia's ability to sell their oil. So, taking away their funding, their economic source of income to fund the war and so forth. And so Laura Loomer, who basically brought out the, as well as I, but who also brought out the Mitch McConnell, being sick for weeks and no one's heard from him. She also brought out that, was Graham killed by Russia? So I don't know about her. She's like for the map, kind of like Candace Owens. So I don't trust either one of them. Both of them are give us a little piece of information occasionally, but overall, I'm very, like everybody. I trust you, and I trust Scott, and I trust and a few others, but everybody else is super suspect to me. I just I hear the information, I watch them occasionally, see where they're at, but for the most part, whatever.
Especially now with the podcasters all getting paid off to support that little country in the Middle East. Or, I mean, it's just so obvious to see these people, man. They're just turning, like, all of a sudden you're like, you don't really believe that, do you? I mean, you cannot. And they're working so hard to convince the masses that, oh, Tyler Robinson, he's the guy. The evidence is so damning, although that's for another subject, another time, but it's just ridiculous, right? I mean, just the way they're going, so they're going so hard in the paint to drive this home, and it's just obvious to me. But it says here, Lindsey Graham has died of a heart. This is from John Carmen, United States Secret Service. He says the IRGC is claiming credit. 𝗔𝗯𝗶𝗃 was close to Trump. Here is the hit list, which may not be aware of. So John Carmen, folks, will be on 𝗬𝗏𝐻�corner.tv after this. I'm going to show this real quick. So here is the supposed hit list that Iran put out, and I'm going to show it, an actual hit list of I guess they can scratch off Lindsey Graham now, whether it was from them or not, is yet to be seen. There it is. You get how's that?
Netanyahu at the top, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So there we go. Big X on Lindsey Graham. Now, I don't see Mitch McConnell in there, but I'm sure he's maybe on the next page. But apparently it's a 100 million reward for Trump and staff. is from the IRGC, is what they're saying. So here's the hit list right here. And there you go, Lindsey Graham. So was this in coordinated? The question is this in coordination effort with Russia, or the deep state? He was getting ready to pass the SAVE Act, although you and I both believe that the SAVE Act, it doesn't matter if it passes or not. Trump's going to move forward with other methods and means, correct?
I agree. It's too close to the election. And both of us have talked about both sides are really polarized. If we conservatives would have a good standing, good winning, the crazies out there on the woke side would blow up, and quite frankly, if that happened, if the wokesters won on a big level, then probably conservatives are going to be outraged and strike out as well. So very polarized, very Civil War type. I don't think we're going to have a Civil War, but I think there could be some conflicts going forward, like we've already had. But yeah, these guys, you're going to see a lot of different things that are going to come in like this. And I had Craig London last night, and he talked about how great advice, because he says the people that are puppeting all of the Congress and Senate and all that kind of stuff, the people with the trillionaires, like Elon Musk. I'm not sure if Elon Musk is involved or not, but anyway, the people that are, basically puppeting all these other people that are higher up, have all the money, they're going to be doing a lot of this stuff. So we're going to have all these things that are going to be running past us. And just like if you're a lion in the Serengeti, you're going to have all these different animals are going to run past you, and you're going to chase all these animals you're not going to eat. So just wait for the right moment, and you intuitively you see something that looks good, and then you move on that. So that we're going to have a lot of different things that are going to come at us now.
And we always said these next 5 months are going to really pick up in escalation.
Yeah, we're sidetracked on all of them.
And look, nobody knows. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that are swirling around with Mitch McConnell, but I think we can all pretty much safely say he's gone. I think he has until August. I don't know the date. Can someone put it into the chat, please?
August 2nd, I think.
Is it August 2nd? August 2nd or 3rd, right? Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So
he has a Democrat in Kentucky. There's a Democrat, so they don't want him to go, because a Democrat there in Kentucky is going to put somebody in that position that's not going to serve, I guess, the Republicans or the conservative side. I don't know, but like you're talking about, they're all part of the deep state to a great extent. So the way they vote is, they vote for the deep state. They don't vote for us. So that's. But they'll give us a little piece every now and then. See, I'm for you guys, and no, you're not. Everybody in Kentucky is compromised. All those senators, congressmen are compromised from Kentucky, in my opinion. So we're basically going to see a lot of this stuff, thrown at us. So he had a heart attack. Graham had a heart attack machine. We know they have that thing. I've had.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Before, fortunately, I was able to survive that shit. But they had a helicopter. I was on Pacific Crest Trail, and a helicopter that was all blacked out, no lights, no markings, no nothing, screen. You couldn't see inside. It was all dark. Came and if you see that tree behind me, one of those trees out there was hovering right next to me on the Pacific Crest Trail. I was on an area where if I died, I would have fallen into a ravine. So they had it planned perfectly. So they came in, they hit me with a heart attack machine. My heart went, and then I'm in great shape like you. I was able to resist it. It came back 4 different times. It would go up and down the trail and make sure there's no one coming, because I was way ahead of everybody on the trail. And they came in and hit me again and again and again. I finally got to a place it was going to search to make sure no one's coming. I ran and hid in a place, and it came looking for me, couldn't find me, and it was gone.
Man, so I made a post of that just recently on X. I was saying, man, there sure are a lot of black helicopters with their lights off around my neighborhood.
Yeah, dude. You might have survived one of them, actually.
I mean, I did. I don't know when I posted that. Maybe my audience remembers that, but yeah. And then obviously, I had my heart problems just recently, but
yeah.
I think it was for a stupid mistake that I made. But still, I mean, the war is real, man, and they definitely want to shut people like us up that are going against the narrative.
Oh, absolutely. And now, why did they take those two guys out? It seems like they were serving the deep state to a great extent. So are the white hats taking them out? It remains to be seen. So this is good. We're having this conversation. It helps people to see a bigger picture that's happening. Who isn't who? So there's going to be all kinds of stuff that's going to come in now. The IRGC did it. Russia did it. You know, so just be observant. Don't get all crazy about it. Just start to see there's some kind of pattern going on here. What are they trying to do? Now with Lindsey Graham, there is a governor. We have a great governor in South Carolina that is probably going to put somebody in place that's going to continue he's going to probably vote for the SAVE Act and all the and vote for us, you know, basically kicking Iran's ass, which has to happen. So I
just wonder though, I mean, do we secretly, I kind of feel like we secretly don't want the SAVE Act to pass so Trump can sign those national security emergency and sign the executive orders, you know? So I wonder, because those will go into effect immediately. The SAVE Act will be fought in court left and right, and it won't get anywhere this cycle.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we know the Democrat states aren't going to vote right, regardless of what comes through on a certain level, because they're compromised. They've been compromised by the deep state. So the deep state inserted people that are going to vote in their favor, and I think the executive order, has to come through. I agree with you for President Trump to basically, push that election into possibly the spring next year. I don't know, but we'll see. Something that has to happen for that to happen. I was just watching when you told me about Graham, I was watching this old film from 1964, 7 Days in May. So somebody sent it to me because they said, is President Trump going to get, because it's basically talking about a coup attempt. And President Kennedy said, this book, everyone should read this book to make it into a movie. Unfortunately, they didn't make it into a movie before he died. Was taken out by the deep state. And they talk about it in this movie. And we know this now, that it was the Joint Chiefs that were involved in that. The CIA Joint Chiefs, they were like, he's dealing with Russia. And that's what they said in the movie. The president at that time was, doing a nuclear disarmament agreement with Russia secretly, and the Joint Chiefs didn't like that. They said, we have to be strong, and so they were going to do a coup on the president. Of course, they did a coup on our president, John F. Kennedy, by killing him. So,
right, and Trump has come out too and said, I may be gone soon. He's saying some cryptic stuff.
He's probably he knows, just like in the movie, he found out some of the a colonel played by Kirk Douglas came, figured it all out and came and warned him. And then they started looking at stuff and they're like, you're right. They're going to try and take me out. They're going to try and capture me or kill me. So yeah, I think Trump's, because remember when he did that, had all the generals and admirals come in and he says, I've been the, president, was 45, 46 and 47.
Yep.
Like there's a door. He just pissed off some very powerful people.
Everybody. I mean, and I heard a lot of even the generals in there were confused, and these are top level generals. But we've had Juan on our show many times. Other guests, mainly Juan, has said he is 45, 46, 47. He never went away. He was nuclear and beyond. So we've always been there, man. We've been in this camp. We've been in this lane. Everything that's kind of transpiring right now, happening right now. We've always been on top of this. You got the conservative podcast cheerleaders that I cannot stand them, right? But our niche, like we have been on top of this for 6 years, Mike.
Yeah.
And everything that's happening right now, we've been ahead of the ball. We've definitely been over the target and talking about this, how these days are going to come, and then it's going to come to self-deleting. So when they start realizing there's nowhere to squirm out and they can't make any moves anymore, there's going to be a lot of self-deleting, homicides, things like that. I think this is the beginning. This is just the beginning of this getting ready to take place, don't you?
Yeah, I think things are getting crazy. And we hope that our president doesn't get taken out. Like it looks like Air Force One was compromised, so he switched jets. So I mean, you can have military jets around you. You can have the best military in the world, and Twin Towers drop in their footprints. You know, it's like, what? Like, so these guys have a lot of capabilities and control. And one of the reasons why they took out JFK is because they wanted to do a 9/11 type. And he's like, what, are you crazy? And they're like, so they took him out. You know, there's so many different reasons they took him out, but this is one of the things. Now, I remember when I was in Iraq in the early stages, 2003, and we had the deck of cards, the 52, all the people that need to be taken out. I could tell you that SEAL Team 6 and Delta, every night they were taking down those people. So that was a good thing. Now, this is not a good thing. Will we be protected? Now, Lindsey Graham should have been protected.
That's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
I think maybe, man, that's where I kind of think like maybe the White Hats took him out, man. Maybe, you know, it was in coordination with Russia. Maybe we gave, you know, somebody inside a mole obviously gave intel that he was going to be there. He's not going to publicly state that. As far as I know, I don't know if he publicly addressed this and said that he was going to go look at drone facilities in Kiev. I mean, that'd be a very dumb move, but someone tipped off somebody, and this is a high stakes game, ladies and gentlemen. And if you make one slip up, one false move, you're a goner. And I'm very surprised, to be quite honest with you, that Donald Trump is even using the plane given to him by Qatar. I'll be honest with you. The fact that he's using that, I'm like, I would never, ever do that.
Well, they bought it. I don't know if it was made there, but you know, whatever.
Oh,
I agree with you. I'm like, that's kind of suspect right from the get-go. And maybe that's part of the reveal that they did that, and then they like switched jets. So it's all a possibility that, you know. So I don't think the White Hats don't play this game. I can tell you, if I was a White Hat, which kind of I've been in certain ways, I wouldn't agree to something like that. Take out one of our senators? No, that's not something that we do.
What if he's a swamp rat like he is?
That's a deep state takedown. The deep state's taking that. Absolutely, that's a deep state.
So Trump made a hint saying, you know, he was getting ready to pass a SAVE Act. Like everything seemed good. I mean, and he said, that's very strange. So for him to say that makes me believe like he's hinting or he's telling everybody, hey, man, that's who took him out, right?
Well, that's like who took him out? The White Hats or
the deep state? I mean, well,
deep state, yeah, he's exposing it. Yeah, he's like, I'm really suspecting. So that's kind of the way it worked in the 7 days of May. They started exposing stuff, and he went on. The president in the movie went on national TV and said, I've asked for the resignations of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, this. And as he's speaking, because they had been given papers that basically exposed them, they peacefully gave up. Otherwise, they were going to resist. So the head of the operation, the top general, was I'm going to go on a show, and we're going to like resist this because he was asked for a resignation. So this is probably some of the stuff that we're seeing. Probably President Trump and the White Hats have brought some people in. It's like, we know you're bullshit and you need to resign, or if you do it peacefully, we won't hold you treasonous, and you can just go about your business. So they're like, screw that. I'm just going to fight. We're just going to fight you. And that's what's going on. So we're going to see this, people dying on both sides now, people getting taken out, and they're going to blame.
We're getting close. We're getting close, Mike. We're getting close. This is it now. We are in. It's game time. Absolutely. These are the first chingazos that are landing, like, seriously, within our government. Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham. This is not coincidence, folks. This is a pattern. And let me just say this, folks. If you care about your health, you bet you should. I do. I use red light. Yes, I do. If you've been through Lyme mold, autoimmune disease, thyroid, and hormone problems, or post-viral damage, and feel like you've done everything right and still can't get your body to heal, it's not willpower. It's not a willpower problem, and it's not you. Chronic illness suppresses the repair system at the source. This signal stops getting through, and nothing you take or do on the surface changes that until the cellular environment does. That's where red light therapy comes in, and specifically why I trust Red Life. Their panels deliver 10 proven wavelengths, including near infrared that penetrates deep enough to reach organs and nerves not just the skin level. It hits the mitochondria directly. Inflammation stops, and cellular repair actually starts happening again. Clinics charge hundreds per session, and I've seen this at gyms. Yep. $80 to $200 to go sit in front of a red light device. But so clinics charge hundreds per session for the exact technology. Red Life is a one-time investment. You can use at home every single day. Go to myredlight.com/Nino. The link is down there below, and use David Nino 30. I don't know why they keep changing the code. David Nino 30 for 30% off any bundles, or David Nino 25 for 25% off individual units. That's myredlight.com. Folks, you want to get started on this. You put it right next to you. I put it right next to my bed, and I do it in the mornings and in the evenings. It's worth it. Nice. So, Mike, you know, I hate to keep saying, oh, we've been right. That's like beating a dead horse. But the thing is this, man, where we're at in this stage of the game, we've been telling people, buckle up, get ready. What's coming next? What can my audience expect now that we're starting to see the bodies roll? What can we expect next? I think more escalation and most likely kinetic.
Yeah, you know, I asked this last night with 𝗬𝗂𝗶𝗀. He's got great insights, and we discussed this particular thing. His thoughts were, and I agree, that there is a possibility where they just shut everything down. Now, you and I both have been getting a lot of pressure from the internet, and they're trying to shut our shows down and so forth. So he was saying that that's possibility. That imagine how people would freak out. We've all heard that they're going to do like 3-4 days of darkness, and they're going to like broadcast, all the bullshit.
EBS.
I mean, we're putting out all the bullshit. They don't need to broadcast shit. How is it affecting all the other people on the woke side? They don't care. So, we're informed. They don't need to do anything like that. But imagine all the mayhem that would happen if all the internet went down. People couldn't get on their phones. It would be mayhem. They couldn't, talk to each other. We couldn't broadcast and tell people this is what's going on. So I think there'd be a lot of pandemonium in an event like that. And what if we threw something else in, like a Project Blue Beam, or something where people are dying like crazy, and so they could just do all kinds of crazy stuff because they could set a nuke off underground that would set off one of the fault zones, like I think they probably did in Venezuela and Japan. So that's something they could do.
Well, me and you, we both have podcasted with Maria Zach, who brought in Italy-gate, and I don't want to talk about it too much here on YouTube, but she exposed Italy-gate and gave Trump the documentation on Italy-gate, and also what was happening in Venezuela and Serbia. She had the information on that, and she says the reason that certain things are not breaking right now, like 2020, is because there is a rogue nuke in America that could be detonated, and she says she fears it's probably close to Yellowstone, and that it could annihilate, if not just half of America, the entire planet would just go into
nuclear winter.
Nuclear winter, right? Disarray. Because think about that. If you hit some place like Yellowstone or a fault line, the ramifications and the repercussions and the residual effects would be astronomical. Like nobody would survive that, man. Not on the, at least not. I would imagine that could kill half or more of our population.
Yeah. And, if there were arrests, would that set it off? 𝗬𝗂𝗶𝗀 he's of the opinion that if they did arrest, he would be highly suspect. It would probably be the deep state that's doing that, involved in that, putting someone in there that would just throw pandemonium out there again, cause riots. If you arrested Obama, the woke side's going to like riot. So that's why he says it would be, probably deep state doing something like that. And it's got a good point. You got to think of all the options that are out there, because this is a military operation that we're in right here in the United States. And like you're talking about, if that threat was there, and I think it is, because Derek Johnson and a lot of other people are watching the nuke snifters. And they're out there constantly all over the United States looking for nukes. That's crazy.
I mean, right when Trump was getting sworn in, they were doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, something that has to be taken into account as you decide, in your own mind, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Well, if they did this, they do that, because that's the way this works in a war. You take out our general, we take out your general. You take out our forces, we take out your forces. And so you have to be in a position where you have more power. And ideally, you just do this peacefully. And we know that President Trump is he's very peaceful. Has in his first term, in his second term, he just takes out, like special forces type key individuals. And
he doesn't hesitate, man. They know that he maybe, speak softly, carry a big stick type of thing. He means what he says. Like, if you don't do it, bam, he hits you over the head with it. And he's not holding back. He's a man of his word. And I think that's why they can't deal with him. And they're saying, man, this guy actually is fighting for we the people, going against everything we've ever tried to condition the public with. The last, the deep state, using decades and everything, is all getting reversed now. He's exposing everything and everybody. And that's what I believe his job was here to do, is be the great exposure, right? And that's what he's been doing. And so now we find ourselves in a situation where it's do or die for both sides. We're coming to the finish point, which is the midterms, which will be the hill the Democrats die on, in my opinion. But they're not going to go out without a fight. And as Juan has always said, it will take a hand of God moment. No matter what, no matter how much we think we're winning, they're still in the fight. We're still in the fight. This is a knockout, drag out street fight. And it will take a hand of God moment. It will take a divine intervention from God, which we saw anyway already from Butler, Pennsylvania, when they tried to assassinate Trump. And that, by all means, that bullet should have taken his head off. It did not. And I believe that was divine intervention. And I believe it will happen again, folks. It will happen again. What's your thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Cory Booker came out right away and made this statement. I want you to listen to this.
I am stunned at Lindsey Graham's death, but I pray that he is reunited with his friend, John McCain, that they both are experiencing God's love, grace, mercy, and forgiveness. My prayers are with.
Wow. Cory Booker, who we know is obviously a deep state puppet boy.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's kind of obvious, right? He kind of lumped him in there with John McCain.
John McCain. So Lindsey Graham, 33 years as a JAG officer and in the military, Air Force. He did 4 years active, and then the rest of it was, he was in National Guard. So he's going to get that flag on the coffin. That flag's going to be wrinkled, just like that.
Okay, folks. So that's what you got to pay attention to. Let's look at the flag on the coffin. If it's wrinkled, that's a huge sign, a huge tell right there that this was obviously, even if it was natural, it would still be a wrinkled flag, correct?
Oh yeah, he's out, and but this is a deep state move. Now Lindsey, the way they puppeted him, the way they used him, he liked boys.
Yeah. Let's just be careful there. I know about that. I saw him in pictures in Disneyland.
You brought that up, so I'm not going to go deep into that. But in Washington D.C., they called him out. The gay guys called him out, and because he's too far down that rabbit hole with that, And then he goes to Ukraine, where the trafficking of that gender and others is very heavy, the heaviest in Europe. So he probably had a good time. I was there, I bet.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah, so they use that on these people.
I've never seen such a creepy photos of him just strolling around Disneyland, no kids, nothing, with toys in his hands.
All drunk.
Was he drinking?
He was out of it. He was drunk. Yeah.
What, dude? That reminds me of back in the day when you used to go to
drunk and then pushed him out there. They probably drugs or whatever.
So probably
videoed him.
So you think they're just
that? It's like, okay, we're gonna expose you, and he's like, screw it, I don't care. I'm not gonna do that. And then they did that. They got him intoxicated or whatever, and set about looking for
pray. Wow, man. I mean, this just keeps getting, you know, crazier and crazier the more you go down the rabbit hole. You know, I've often said the more you go down the rabbit hole, the deeper you go, it turns into a maze, and then all of a sudden you're lost, you know, in just to me,
Nino, Jaco, help me, get me back out of here.
Well, that's what it is, folks. That's what me and Jaco are saying right now. There's obviously, this is no coincidence. There's many potential parties at play here. I personally believe this was a coordinated takeout with the deep state. You know, was Russia involved? Did they hit him with a drone or a heart attack gun? Or that's yet to be seen. I'd like to get the facts on that to see which one, because we know it was one of them, right? I mean, it's one of them, but which one was it? And I think we'll go to 𝗬𝗏𝐶𝗠𝗃 or Michael Jaco's channel to learn more about this, folks. 𝗬𝗏𝐶𝗠𝗃.tv. I have it down there at the bottom. I have a Live Forever special happening right now. You pay once and live forever, baby. Mike, thank you so much for joining me, man. It's always an honor to have you on.
Great, brothers. Good discussion. This was outstanding. Good job.
Yeah, we hit it. We hit the nail on it. I think people have kind of can disseminate and find out what they need to find out. We brought the heat, baby, like we always do. Mike, thank you so much, folks. Good to 𝗬𝗏𝐶𝗠𝗃.tv. I'm going to jump on there right now with John Carmen, United States Secret Serviceman, sending me a lot of texts right now from his intel within the Secret Service. So we're going to be jumping on there right now. Mike, thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
Stay with me just a moment.
Absolutely.